Well, troubles. Welcome, everyone. Great to see you all tonight. Sorry for the little intro issues, but we're having some technical difficulties on my end tonight. Bailey's not going to be with us again. He might be able to jump on. He had his in-laws came into town and they had to go out for the evening. So it's me and Jeff here on the show, and we've got some special guests with us tonight. We've got Dylan Colts and Stephen Baum. Yeah, man. Great to have you guys there with Hobie Eyewear. And I don't know if many of you remember them from last year, but they were on here telling us all about the different eyewear and stuff. And we saw them at ICAST again this year and invited them back on here. And then on top of that, they are going to sponsor our Big Bass again this year with the free pair of Hobie Eyewear, and so to the person that catches the biggest bass in each tournament. So Dylan, Stephen, glad to have you guys on here again this year.
Yeah, thanks for having us again.
Yes, thanks.
Welcome. Yeah, so y'all got some new lineups a little bit this year from the show I saw. Some that y'all were teasing us with last year actually is out in the market now, which is pretty cool. We got to try a few of those on, so that was nice.
Yeah, no, absolutely, and I'm glad you remembered that because it was about a year ago now, and we definitely were at the teasing point. But yeah, we finally launched in January at Surf Expo, and we're able to show them consumers the Bassmaster Classic, and then really show them off at ICAST this last month. But that is our whole float sunglasses. And if you haven't seen it on social media yet or on our website, it's the first ever pair of sunglasses made from 100% upcycled Hobie Kayak plastic. So we teased it. We said it was going to be something different that no one's ever seen before. But yeah, when they're in the manufacturing process of making the Hobie Kayaks, we now take that excess plastic, found a way to grind it down and turn it into some really good floating sunglasses.
That is pretty cool. That is real cool. So. Yeah, and then I guess if they have to warranty a hull out or anything, do they grind those down, those old hulls, and y'all make glasses out of them, or is it just the?
Right. I mean, right now it's just the excess plastic, but it's been selling really well. It's a really great story, both for sustainability and conservation, and people have been buying into it. It's the number 1 in 3 selling SKU on our website. It's doing really well at retail as well. So it's really nice to see that the product stands for doing something good, and it's actually gaining momentum from people and they're buying into it. So yeah, we're really happy about that.
That is really cool. Really cool. So how's the weather up there? You're in New York, right?
So I'm in Connecticut right now at my family's lake house, but I'm from New York normally. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm originally from New York, but I'm in North Carolina.
Oh, North Carolina. Okay.
Yeah. I moved there about 3.5 years ago.
Okay. So you're probably not too far from Sean then. Sean's in North Carolina. He'll be hopping on here in a little bit as well. They're running a little late with their military exercises today, shall I say. And if I'm not mistaken, Stephen, I think you might have been in Connecticut last year when we were talking. I think you were talking about.
It's possible. Yeah, I get up here as much as I can.
That is nice. That's very nice. Well, thank y'all for jumping on. And, if y'all don't mind, I'll let y'all have a little bit of the floor and just kind of tell us a little bit about any other new items that y'all have coming, down the pike? I know one that I saw at the show that I really liked was those little bifocal sunglasses that you had that had the little sliders on them. So those were pretty cool. Is that, and I'm guessing those are relatively new, but you were telling me that you didn't know if they were, I think you said they wasn't out on the market just quite yet. Is that correct? Or
yeah, there's something we've been working on. I think we've teased it on our website at times. It's called Board Slide. But yeah, as you mentioned, it has sliding diopters for those who need readers, and they slide exactly. I wasn't going to say that, but they slide.
I've never seen Todd so excited about anything.
No, I remember he was pretty excited at the show, but just because they slide into focus when you need them if you got to tie the hook or something. But then you just slide them right out. They hide behind the frame, so it's like wearing readers without wearing readers. But
yeah, it doesn't mess with your vision at all. That's what, when I tried them on at the show, I was like, man, this is so cool because you can pull them in when you need them and then move them out when you don't.
Yeah,
I can show you a product though that I use that I'm even more excited about for that kind of situation. So I had cataract surgery a bunch of years ago. I really only need readers, but I also didn't want to walk around having to put readers on and off. And the board slides are cool, but like during the day when I'm indoors, I don't want sunglasses on. So what I'm wearing here, this is our Hobie Lennox style. It's one of 3 styles we have in our Duo collection. And they're super comfortable frames, like super flexible temples. They have wire core running through the temple tips so you can fully adjust it to your face. And they're just feather light. But the beauty about them is now when I get out in the water, instead of having to pay a fortune for another pair of prescription polarized sunglasses, I just click that on and I'm all set. So these are magnetic clip-ons. It is literally the fastest interchange you could possibly find. So for the price of one frame, so we sell the frame and the clip of your choice for only $120, which is unheard of in optical frames. And you're getting a very high quality polycarbonate, same lens material that you find in all of our premium sunglasses. Like a lot of companies, they might have something similar, but they've dumbed it down with like a truly inexpensive, cheap polarized lens. This is the same quality lens that we put in our non-floating collection, polycarbonate lenses. But the beauty is, first of all, the clip is made to fit with each frame. So we have 3 different sizes. The clips are all the matching each size. So it, first of all, doesn't look like one of these wonky universal fit clip-ons, which have like little claws around them, or just look like fit overs or whatever. I could be wearing these guys with you all day out on the boat. And then until the end of the day, when I go like this, you wouldn't realize I was wearing clip-on sunglasses. And then the beauty is you're paying for one prescription. These are the glasses I wear all day in the office doing podcasts with guys like you and out bike riding, like all kinds of stuff. But when you get outside, you just take the clip, put it on, and the clips are only $40 for non-mirrored lenses, $50 for mirrored. And we have it in all 5 of our premium fisherman lens choices. So we have our gray, our copper with the sea green mirror, our gray with the cobalt, and then our Sightmaster Plus lens, which we'll get into in just a little bit. So it's just an amazing solution for anyone who says, well, yeah, I can't wear those because I need reading glasses or I have RX. Anytime we're at like a show or something or an event and someone's like, nah, I can't wear your sunglasses because I wear prescription. We're like, come over here. Let me show you something. And they come in this its own hard case. And then inside the hard case is a little sleeve for fitting like up to 3 different lenses. I actually ripped that sleeve out. It's not even in here right now because when I go fly fishing, I pulled that little sleeve out. I stick it in my fly vest, and then I'll keep like my low light lenses in there. And then it's like perfect because then like I can literally be waist deep out in the water and I'm just swapping out my lenses right there on the stream. So it's
cool.
It's a fantastic solution. And it's one of those ones where I'm like, I am literally the customer. Like I'm not just selling it. I live it every single day. So
I'm the guy that walks past all the sunglass places because I've worn glasses for 30 years and
Yeah.
I'm the guy that also has 8 pairs of prescription sunglasses laying around the
It
house
costs a
somewhere.
fortune, and then we're fishermen, so now you're paying for polarized ones because you have to have polarized. I mean, I'm in the industry, and we get certain discounts. I'm not doing that. I just have the one pair. I have my one prescription. I'm good to go.
Yeah, that's
you
why
probably
I've resorted to
paid
just
300
ordering.
plus for one of those pairs, right?
Yeah.
Was that
well,
done?
I've resorted to ordering them online because
Yeah.
it's so much cheaper than going to the doctor. And like, you get them at the doctor's office, yeah, it's $400 or $500. I
Yeah,
order
so
them from
you can
Zinni
buy
and
them.
pay 80.
Yep. So you can buy them on our website, and then we have a link that'll pass you through to our RX provider, and you can get it all done online from the comfort of your own home. You can
that's perfect. I'll have to look at that next
prescription and
time.
everything, and get it all sent out. You get it in the mail with the clips of your choice, and you're good to go.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah. So you can end up having,
awesome.
your everyday glasses with your prescription plus 2 additional lens clips that cover all 3 of your needs for different lighting conditions for under $350. You can't beat that.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, it's 6 glasses in one because you have the without any clip, your everyday indoor glasses, and then up to 5 clips. So it's a no-brainer.
Yeah.
That is awesome.
It's awesome.
Well,
that is awesome.
So like for me, I've got good vision except for reading up close. So, and that's what's so irritating is, like you said, having to pull some off and up and the whole works. And that's why I always thought the sliders were really good, because typically I don't, unless I'm on the computer or whatever, I don't even have my glasses on me. So it's, that part is pretty good. I love that little meme that goes out there about, the fishing line, as you get older, this is what it used to look like. And now it's all blurred up and you can't.
It looks like a big rope.
Yeah,
it's a rope. But anyway, so you started off talking about what we were teasing last year, which we're really excited to talk about. We launched it this year, our big launch to the fishing community. No pun intended. We had a really big showing at ICAST. We were in the new product showcase, and it generated a lot of buzz. It was really exciting because a lot of people came to our booth and said, "Oh, I want to see that Hull sunglass that we've been hearing about or seen about online." So kudos to our marketing team for really getting the word out there, because we never had so many people come to our booth in the past as they did this year, saying, "I want to see that product that I saw online." So it was really exciting. But so this is for anyone who hasn't seen it, and again, you can see it on HobieEyewear.com or go to any of our local retailers, which we also have listed on the website, and you can probably see them there. But this is Hull. So it's a great all-around fit wrap. And it's funny because I say that, but it ended up being more true than I could have realized, because when we were at the Bassmaster Classic in Dallas earlier this year, it was the first time we were selling it in mass out to consumers. And it was a great opportunity for us to be there face-to-face as they were making the decision. And we have other styles, other floating styles. We have like a medium, small, large, extra large. And anytime someone said, "Yeah, this one doesn't fit," or "that one," and I'm kind of in between, whether it was like a smaller head or a large head, we just got to the point where we were almost like always saying, "Try this first. If you don't like this, then we'll put you in one of those other ones." Whereas we would have thought it'd be the other way around. Put them in the XL glass. If they don't like that, then maybe this one or the large. And then, so this, because it's made of kayak plastic, it's soft yet durable. So it's just very pliable, very soft plastic, but it holds its shape. Like it'll come back to its shape, but it also won't feel like a vise if you're a bigger guy putting it on. But then the fit is such that small to medium customer can also feel comfortable wearing it, because it's right about at that fit. I'd say about a medium. But like we have people with just massive heads, they put it on, they were like, "Sold. I'll take this one and that one," So it was really exciting. So when I say it's a good all-around fit glass, that we couldn't have had better field study on it than being at the Bassmaster Classic and selling this to like every face size and shape that you could. So so this is the gray base lens. It's a great all-around lens. It dims everything kind of evenly, so it's better for like brighter light conditions, when maybe the contrast or sight fishing isn't as much of a thing. It's great for like saltwater or anywhere where you're just going to be blasted by the sun all day. A complement or another variation of that is that gray base mirror, but this time with our cobalt mirror. It just cuts a little bit extra sort of light intrusion and glare and so on. So general wisdom, and I'll preface this like I always do. Fishermen can be a superstitious bunch, or right? No kidding. And when you find something that you feel comfortable with and that helps you catch more fish, you use it. So I've seen freshwater guys under trees, under the shade of trees in a stream, wear a blue mirror. And I've seen guys out in the open water wear our lighter colored, more contrast enhancing lenses. It's what you like. Yeah, I suggest anytime you can, if you're in a store that carries Hobie, or if you see it at an event, try out all the different lens tints. So that's the two that generally we would suggest for brighter conditions.
Can I ask a question, Steve?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
While you're talking about lenses real quick, for Florida in our bass fishing, we have a lot of tannic water here, right? What lens would you recommend for the tannic water?
Just getting to that one. So there's sort of two, right? Because there's tannic, but it can be really like dark, and it can also depend on the lighting conditions. So the two lenses that, and this is what I use mostly when I'm freshwater fishing in any situations, but again, it can be a combination of how dark is the water relative to how bright is the sun, but it could be totally clear water, but low sun or overcast. So you'll kind of find that these both work in very different situations, but this is our the copper with our sea green mirror. So what the copper lens does is, because it's not just straight gray color that just dims the entire spectrum, light spectrum down evenly, it makes certain colors pop a little bit more, like reds will pop a little bit more. And so among other colors. And what's cool about that is seeing through the water, especially if you're sight fishing, in a kayak, you're looking for structure, especially if you have a boat with like a motorized prop or something. You really want to be careful of structure because you don't want to chew your prop up, hitting a rock or catching a stump or something like that. So it's excellent for sight fishing. I'd say that this is our best. I consider it to be our best all-around lens, but especially if you're freshwater fishing and seeing into the water is more important than, like, let's say someone out in the open water where you're not really looking into the water. You just want polarized to break unless you're down in the Caribbean where you really can see 40 feet down. And then this is our Sightmaster lens. So our Sightmaster lens is a yellow base lens with this really cool gold mirror on it. This is the choice for overcast days, early morning and the evening. It's also good for like true sight fishing. Like when you're fishing, you're down Florida, if you're fishing like the flats, if you're going for like bonefish or like other fish that you'd maybe be like, especially if you're like up on the top of I forget what you call it on the top of the boats, but that little stand that you'll see guys standing up in. But it's great just for like scanning and seeing through really well. So that's a fantastic choice. These are definitely like our freshwater / high contrast sight fishing sort of options are these two guys.
Nice.
And then I'm going to back up a little bit because I kind of jumped into I get so excited to talk about the product and the lenses that I didn't give you like the origin story. So just to give you and your listeners that a little bit, we were approached by someone at Hobie a couple of years back, I'd say like 4 years ago or so. And they said, yeah, when we make our kayaks, there's a certain degree of scrap. In particular, where this comes from now, because you were kind of asking earlier, is when after they've rotomolded the kayaks, they have to cut the opening with like a router or something. They cut the opening for the hatches. So that hatch plastic, first of all, it's great because there's no embedded parts in it. When we ground it up and want to stick it in our molds, you might have brass parts or other fittings that are molded into the kayak to begin with when it's rotomolded. So that's where they screw in certain attachments and whatever. So it's kind of like pure plastic, which is great. So they shave it up. They ground it up into like these kind of bits, like this kind of stuff. And then we just said, all right, well, let's give this a try. It was never a question of if we could do it, just how. We were like, we'll figure it out. So then we grind it into this little bits of plastic here. So you can see this from all different kayaks. And then we injected it into our molds and came out with, as Dylan said, the first of its kind upcycled kayak plastic sunglass. And we even make the hard case out of the same plastic. This is the case that comes with our kayak glass, and not made from the kayak plastic, but also recycled. Let's see if I can get not to be so. There we go. This you get this really cool microfiber case with it that's got the little icon on the back with the sunglass and the kayak.
Very nice.
So,
Very cool.
But yeah, it took like a bunch of years to develop. It took a bunch of years to develop.
You're talking about that.
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Yeah. So will y'all make the frames? Will y'all ever make the frames the same color as the kayaks?
You know, I'm a product guy for many years. I have to admit, what I didn't think of, everyone asks almost right away when when we show this. Yes, stay tuned. We are considering doing some special edition colors where it's like, you know,
Having a papaya frame.
Yeah, like the papaya or the hibiscus red is this color.
Yeah.
So we can do some fun stuff with that, and also with potentially new styles coming out of this particular product. So we'll have something to come back on and talk to you about in the coming months or year or so. But
if you're not following us on social media or subscribe to our email list, do it, because when we launch these special edition colors, they're going to go quick for sure.
Yeah, for sure.
And also, you know, everybody can follow up with us afterwards. You know, we have our own link to be able to order these, you know, straight from Hobie here, Hobie Eyewear from Dylan and them. They gave us a special link just for our club. So let's all be sure to use it as well.
Can you do the prescriptions from that link too? Or they?
You can buy the frames with the club discount, and then go to our lens provider, Lensable. You can actually send the glasses in, and they will just swap out the lenses with your prescription.
Very cool.
Yep.
That's awesome. Very sweet. Very sweet.
Yeah, so it's been a fun project. It's been a lot of work. The funny thing was, when we did it, we just thought it'd be cool enough that it's made out of kayak plastic, and then we're like, I wonder if it floats. I mean, it's not an automatic thing, because boats floating is more about water displacement, not the actual physical material. Or all our Navy ships would be at the bottom of the ocean, right? But so we were like, oh man, like fingers crossed. We took it, dropped it in our little float test tank that we have. And we're like, this story can't get any better. We were really excited about it.
Yeah. So the slogan is "What floats your boat?" because that is literally what it is. It floats. It's made from your boat, and yeah.
Yeah, and we call it hull because it literally is the hull of a kayak. So
absolutely, they were cool. Very cool.
I know that's very cool. Good origin story.
It was pretty awesome to see the different ones when we were there at ICAST, and everybody. I mean, it looked like, from my point of view, seeing everybody huddled around there, checking them out, it looked like it was a big success for you guys at the show.
It was, yeah, for sure.
It was by far and away the most excitement we've ever had for a new product, and it was really cool to see people, just like Steve said, coming over to the booth specifically to see it. So
yeah, and the exciting thing is, like, when you design a piece that's got this much, whether it's technology or story behind it and this and that, you know, like a pinnacle piece, you call it, or a tip of the spear piece, a lot of times it's for attention. You know, you get someone excited about this so that they'll go buy this over here. When you hit on something that's a pinnacle style, or like, you know, like a tip of the spear story and so on, and then, as Dylan said, it's two of the SKUs are our first and third top selling SKUs this year. I mean, it doesn't get much better than that. And that's why we were, you know, very deliberate in the styling that we picked and the sizing and all that. So we weren't going to make it look like some wacky thing where it looks like you're physically wearing a kayak or had some crazy shape or whatever. But still, you know, it's, you know, a lot of times, like, people are like, oh, that's really cool, but I'll take this glass over here. And that's fine. That means the style did its job. it's more a marketing piece than a sales piece. This one hits on both. So it's that's what's really exciting about it. And just seeing customers really loving it and enjoying it and then posting online about it or showing up to events, because we sold it to them 2 months ago at another event. And they're like, oh, I love those glasses. Those are the best. And it's been awesome. As a product person, having worked on this with the rest of the team, and it has been a team effort, to see it come to market and then overly exceed our expectations is just exciting as hell.
Oh yeah. Well,
Yeah,
I've got mine. I've been wearing mine all day. So
Yeah. And the other great part that we didn't mention is just, it, like we said, it's a feel good story. It speaks to conservation. It speaks to sustainability. But with that, we partnered with the Fish America Foundation. So a portion of all sales from Hull Float go back to everything they're doing for conservation in their organization. So we wanted to not only tell a great product story on that front, but also be able to give back. So people really, really like that partnership, and it means a lot to them, along with everything we've been doing from a lake cleanup standpoint. So Carl Jochimson, one of our sponsored athletes, has been doing his Fear My Heart cleanups. We've sponsored them for the last 3 years. This year, he wanted to clean 100 lakes around the world in one weekend. He got the 70, but we organized 2 of them. So we did a big one in North Carolina. Steve did one up at Jones Beach in New York. And it was just really cool to see this amazing movement of people coming out there and cleaning up trash from their local lake and just, making a big difference in a short amount of time. So everything else aside, if this product gets the word out there to get more people to do that, just when they go out fishing, they just want to bring a bucket or a bag of trash or a trash bag with them and pick up trash while they're out on the lake, then that's a great thing as well. So we encourage everyone to do that.
Oh yeah, I'm one of those. I always try to pull as much of it out as I can. I tend to pull a lot of fishing line out of the lakes because I always get hung on it. For whatever reason, I'm the one that always gets hung. So I'm got massive amounts of fishing line in my boat most of the time when I get out of there, which is good. That is what tears up a lot of props and a lot of birds and all kinds of things. So I'm a huge proponent of trying to get the lakes cleaned up. So that's awesome, guys.
Yeah, you don't realize how much trash is there until you start picking it out. And then you go, oh my God, this is way, way more than I ever would have thought. But like I said, a couple people in a short amount of time can make a big difference.
Yeah, well, I'm from Tennessee, right? That's where I'm from. And you got a lot of the flowing streams and the floods and everything. So where does all the trash that's around all the yards and the woods and on the side of the road end up whenever the floods come through?
Yeah,
they end up in the lake. And it's amazing how many tires are at the bottom of a lake.
It is wild. Every time we do a cleanup, we just see stuff we would never expect to be in a lake, and it's just kind of crazy.
Just don't want to find any bodies down there.
No, we haven't run into that yet, fortunately.
Yeah. Well, we do want to thank you guys tremendously, one, for coming on here tonight, two, sharing with us the new products that y'all have. So, I think that's really super cool. And then, thirdly is, of course, sponsoring our club, taking care of our fishermen, and, giving us something to be able to give away, and that's huge. I know we've received nothing but great response from everybody that, won a pair. Many of them have gone out and bought a pair. I don't know how many actually used our link. I think there's many that just went out and bought them. They didn't care about the link or not, so which I think that says a lot about your, about your brand there that you've got. I thought about one thing. I pulled a couple of the ones out that you sent me that we're going to give away, and I thought maybe you could share a little bit about the 2 different styles that you sent. One is the Mojo.
Yep. Yeah. So while you open it up, I can tell you. So Mojo is one of those styles that's probably good on like a medium to large consumer. Some people a little larger will wear it, but I'd say if you feel like you have like a medium to a large head, that's the perfect glass. This is also part of our floating collection. It's not kayak glass, but it's part of our premium floating polarized collection. And that one you're holding up there is the shiny wood grain. That's a personal favorite of mine. I like copper-based lenses that has a copper lens on it, and like the wood grain with that copper lens. And then when you put the copper lens on, one of the things I said is contrast enhancing, but another cool feature about copper is when you put it on, it's like instantly soothing. Like even on a bright day, it actually brightens things up a little bit, which seems counterintuitive, but it kind of brightens things up a little bit, but in a good way. But your eyes are so relaxed, but now you can see everything better. Mm-hmm. And like I was saying, it makes certain colors pop. So like I was fortunate enough to catch a couple of brown trout when I was fishing last weekend, and like those red dots on the back of them, like when I'm fighting that fish and it starts coming in, those red dots were like popping like that. And I was like, oh, I got a brown. I'm so excited, So it's a lot of fun. I love that copper lens.
I miss we had a little stream that we used to trout fish there in Tennessee, and I actually miss that a little bit. The water's nice and cool. Most of it was rainbow, but we had a lot of big brown trout in there as well.
Those are fun.
I had a buddy that caught a 24 out of it, and it was nice. It was pretty nice.
Oh, and do they fight? Oh my God.
But, I don't use a fly rod. I use a spinning, spin tackle, but using a using a light with ultralight rod and a reel, and 2 to 4 pound test line.
Yeah, that's good.
It's a massive fight. It's a lot of fun. Okay, the other one that y'all sent was the Monarch.
Yep. So I can tell you a bit about that one. So if you want to hold that up. So Monarch is, I'd say like a medium-sized fit, but you could go a little medium to large on it. So when you hold that one up, so you see that neoprene retainer on the back of it. So that's adjustable and removable. It just pops off with the on the end there. If you pull it, just like that. That's easy on and off. And it's a little tough to demonstrate it right now, but we do have a little instruction card in there. The side shields also come off. So if you like grip that little side shield and like pull it in towards the inside of the glass, almost like you're pushing it in that way. Yep. Yeah, it's got a few connection points, so it might take a second. Once you get used to it, it comes on and off like rather quickly. Okay. So that, perfect. So that allows you to wear that glass as like a fully functioning fishing glass when on the water. But then when you pop those two shields off and take the retainer off, it's like a beautiful lifestyle glass off the water.
Absolutely. Yeah, I was going to say that is one thing that I really like is having the side shields, like the pair that you were showing a few minutes ago, the holes where it's got the big, thicker sides there that will block all the light, because I'm constantly doing this.
Yeah.
Well, somebody who has blue eyes, right? Me, it's amazing what a difference the side shields make if you spend an entire day on the water versus if you don't have them, you come home. I was out fishing today. That's why I'm sitting here rubbing my eyes, because, the amount of sun that comes in, it still burns my lenses. I sit here, my eyes will water for the next 2 days now.
Yeah, it's tough.
So it makes a huge difference having them.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It's a great best of both worlds, 2-in-1 sunglass. And both those styles, the Mojo float and the Monarch float, they float, as in the name. So you drop them in the water, they're not going anywhere.
Yeah, that's awesome. So somebody might get a pair with one of the sides not on, if I can't figure out how to put it.
Yeah, there's a little card in there.
Notch in the tab, it's good to
go. Yeah, somebody might get a pair that has the side panels removed,
thrown in the box.
Yeah, it's just put in there. They're not broke. I just don't know what I'm doing.
Well, like Steve said, the instruction card's in there, so you might have to read that one after the meeting tonight.
I will do that. So, anything else that you want to share with us, Steve? Any other?
Just that we're always innovating, always developing. So, 2026 is around the corner. Nothing I can tease just yet, but we're really excited about some of the new things we have coming out. And I can tell you that expanding this kayak collection is one of our priorities, as along with our overall floating collection, because especially for the fishermen, but for most people in general, anyone who's on the water, whether you're a fisherman or someone or just someone out on the water casually, we've all donated glasses to the bottom of the lake or the ocean, and it
they're
hurts our
usually
wallet, it
very
hurts our
expensive.
environment, and yeah.
They're usually very expensive ones.
Yeah, well, I mean, a lot of times people are losing glasses that cost 2.5 times ours. We didn't talk about price point, I don't think, but our glasses start at $70 and go up to 120, and like only one glass is, I think, at that 120 range. So really, we kind of fall between like 90 and 100 most of our glasses. And at that price point, I mean, another phrase we used to use, you could buy a pair and a spare, because or the other one we said was twice the features at half the price, because you have brands out there, won't name names, but they're easily 2-3 times the cost of ours, and I tell you, they sink really well because we've seen it. Right. So they're missing one key feature, and that's flotation. So
I will tell you, I've got a pair that's a major name brand, starts with a C.
Never heard of them.
That I don't wear anymore since I've got these.
Yeah,
I don't. I mean, it's just I don't. Well, I got them. A few years ago, everybody talked about how great they were. Right, great fishing glasses. These are so much better to me. I just don't like them.
And you know what?
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
I will draw another comparison to some of those more expensive brands. And Dylan has lived this because Dylan used to work in our warranty department. Not only are our glasses exceptionally priced for what you're getting from them, and they have features that the more expensive brands don't have, but we stand behind our product in a way that no one else does. We hear it over and over again. Sometimes, like in your case, you're like, oh, I paid a lot for those glasses, but these float. I'd rather wear these. We have a lot of people say, well, I had a little problem with my glass, and I was basically told, buzz off. And then in the rare exception they had an issue with ours, they're like, wow, you guys really made me whole and stood by your product and this and that. And we're very proud of that, because product is one thing, but crappy customer service will undermine all that. So we have a lot of repeat customers. And the thing is, the person, again, exceptional cases, who had an issue with their glasses or something, and even like it could have been something that they did and we helped them get into a new pair of glasses, that person's going to tell 10 other people. And so those people just hear, without having that experience, oh, go with Hobie. They're a really good brand. They really, stand by their product. So
absolutely.
And it's a lifetime warranty. Like, we've literally had people call and they're like, oh, I bought these sunglasses in the 90s. Is that lifetime warranty thing legit? We're like, yeah, we don't make it anymore because that was a very long time ago, but you can send them back and we will send you a brand new pair that's similar. But yeah, it is a lifetime warranty.
I will tell you firsthand, my colleague Allie, who's generally the person speaking to our consumers, especially with those old ones, first I'll get the email with a picture. Do you have any idea what glass this is? And then either I remember it because I was around, because I've been there for 18 years so far, or I just look in the old catalogs because I made sure we kept one of every one of our catalogs. I'll go through the archives, and then I'm like, I think we might have one. And I'd be climbing up in the racks in the warehouse in a box of archived glasses. I'm like, because that's always fun when you can pull out a glass that hasn't been on the shelves for sale in 20 years. And I'm like, I think I have one. We love that because the customer's like, I cannot believe you found me that glass. It doesn't always work out, that we also have a wide enough collection with enough variety that we can say, we don't have this, but this will be what I would suggest. And nowadays they float and have other features that maybe we didn't 20 years ago. So
that is so very
cool.
Very
that is a big deal too, because another glass company that's pretty expensive, and I know I cleaned my pool screen, not thinking about it, wearing the sunglasses, and the chlorine ruined the lenses. And I reached out to them and they were like, yeah, no, that's user error. We won't do anything. And I was like, it's under warranty. I just got them. And they're like, yeah, we're not. Too bad. Yeah. So, the no questions asked warranty is nice.
That's awesome. We got a question here. And if anybody out there listening tonight, if y'all have any questions, please send them in for the guys. But Andrew Cordero, he asked, what would you recommend for the big-headed guy?
Mhm.
So we
Bluefin
have,
float.
so we have Bluefin Float. That is our double XL glass. It works in 90% of the cases, but should that not work? And we also have I forget exactly how our return policy works, but we have a very friendly return policy too. You know,
It's free returns in 30 days.
free there. Dylan knows. Consider this glass. It somehow works on everyone. I don't know how we stumbled onto that so well, but you know, he would know how big his head is. But start with Bluefin Float, but could also consider one of our hold glasses.
Yeah, I like the Bluefins. They're really nice.
Yeah,
They're
they're very
wide,
solid,
so
sturdy.
they're going to give you a lot of peripheral coverage. So,
Yep.
And I think, if I'm not mistaken, those were some that y'all sent last year.
I believe so. Yeah.
As well, and we were able to give some of our big-headed guys a few of those. I think on here, let's see, there is Chris Harrelson. I know he's got a pair of them. He ended up with the biggest fish of the year.
Well, he got the biggest glasses for them. So,
and so he's got the biggest glasses. There we go.
And by the way, so you were showing the everyone the mojos that we sent you before, and we were just talking about Bluefin. For anyone out there who's a Hank Cherry fan, we actually did special edition Hank Cherry glasses in those two styles, and they have like little red hits, like Hank Cherry colors, has his logo on the inside. But we did those in 3 of his favorite lens colors, which is that it's getting a little dark here in Connecticut, so can't see too well, but the cobalt blue and the sea green and the Sightmaster. So you can get those 2 styles in those 3 lens choices in a Hank Cherry special edition, and it comes with a really cool red colored. It says Hank Cherry on the microfiber case.
So the last one you just showed there, Dylan.
Yep.
I'm guessing that's the Sightmaster.
That is the Sightmaster.
And that's the one that's kind of yellowish with the gold.
Yep.
Right.
Yes. If you have a lot of other pairs of sunglasses of other brands, but you want something a little different, and you want to buy a pair of Hobie Eyewear, try that one. That's going to be very different than anything you have. We call it the lenses that you wear when you don't think you need to wear sunglasses, whether it's cloudy, overcast, you're fishing in the shadows somewhere. You still need that polarization to be able to see through the water and protect your eyes, but that's going to brighten everything up and help you see in those conditions. So definitely something worth having in your arsenal, especially if you're fishing competitively.
Yeah, like I was saying, I have that lens with me when I'm out in the river. So I'll put that on. I'll be fishing. You know how it is. You fish until until they stop biting, and then you fish another 20 minutes more just in case. God forbid you catch one, then it resets the clock. You get another 20 minutes. So anyway, I'll be wearing that lens. I'll come off the river, and then I take the little the lens off, the magnetic lens off, and I'm like, oh my God, I didn't realize how dark it had gotten, because it brightens everything up, and you really do. And I'll tell you, it's funny. I thought about this last week because I don't bring this up. I forget this use case, but so up near me is the Housatonic River. And it's relatively shallow, but it's got lots of, I forget what the nickname is for the very round, just kind of like rocks this size. And you kind of like stepping on them with your felt soled waders and stuff. But you can really like eat it if you're not careful. And when I'm coming off the river, like after I fish like as late as I can, that little bit of polarization has helped me get back to the shore without rolling an ankle or taking that last dip in the water that I really didn't feel like taking just before getting in my car. So it's like, it's good for fishing. It's good for looking out for structure and this and that. For me, it's helped me get my ass out of the river without breaking my ass. So
one more time, if you picked one lens as the universal lens, that's that copper
sea green, or just regular copper base. That's going to be your best neutral all around lens.
It would be this one that you'll see the most.
But like I said, it really depends people's preferences, but it does depend a lot on what kind of fishing you're doing. Like if you're open water, not really looking at structure, and you just want to block the sun and reduce the amount of glare, I would say you want to go with something that's either like our gray base or our gray with the copper, with the cobalt lens. Anything freshwater and or low light conditions, I'd say like this is the 1-2 punch of our copper with the sea green and our Sightmaster lens.
Okay.
Now,
So it really depends because there's so much different types of fishing that you can do in very different scenarios.
do y'all? I know most or all the lenses I've seen are the polycarbonate type lenses. Do y'all do any glass lenses?
The question comes up sometimes, although we do notice that with the technology that's out there nowadays, and how much the technology has grown and improved on plastic lenses over the years, that the demand for glass is less and less. You know what? It costs a lot. It's heavy. It's pulling down on your nose all day long. That one slip where you drop it and you just catch the tiniest of pebbles, sayonara. Like that's the end of your lens. So there's so many reasons to not have it. The single biggest reason for glass lenses has always been the optics, but the gap has closed so much over the years. On our floating glasses, we use nylon lenses because they're a bit more buoyant. Not that they're buoyant, but they're less dense. So they're better for flotation in combination with our plastic frames. And like the spread in clarity between a glass lens and nylon and polycarbonate, it's not even distinguishable for everyone. For some people,
like I said, I've been wearing prescription lenses for 35 years, and the first 15 years probably was all glass. And then over the last, 20, 15 years for sure, hardly at all. And then just recently, I ended up with a pair of glass lenses, and it's amazing. Like they feel so heavy on my face, I can't wear them anymore. Like it like was literally hurting my nose. And like I said, the first 15 years, that's all there was.
Yeah. And I mentioned, God forbid you drop it, it cracks. God forbid you take a jig head to the face. You know, like these are all impact resistant lenses. The worst thing that could happen if you really took a shot is that the lens just comes in towards your face, but it's not coming in as shards of glass towards your eyes, So from just a safety point of view, you don't really want to be wearing glass because we've all taken a shot to the face. Sometimes it's our friend next to us with a bad cast. I've done it to people. That's the scariest thing, is having something come through that glass, the glass and the lure coming towards you, because the lure just goes right through the glass,
Especially with the tungsten bullet weights anymore. Down here in Florida, we're fishing with 1 and 2 ounce.
That'll scratch up your lens. Worst case, it might crack it slightly, but it's not going to shatter and come in on your face. So I honestly recommend plastic lenses, whether it's polycarbonate and nylon, for all the reasons I just outlined.
Yeah, any of the pros we've worked with, they won't even wear glass anymore. They're just like, I'm out there too long. The weight is too much. Like I just need something light that I almost feel like isn't even there after a while.
Yeah, I lost a pair of glass lenses to the little pebble like you're talking about. I don't know. They fell off, and it's like, oh crap!
Just has to hit that one hard little point, and it's over.
Yeah.
It's like dropping your phone on the pavement.
Exactly. You start making what are the little screen protectors for your?
Just get a pair of Hobie Eyewear.
Yeah, there you go.
Absolutely. We love them. Well, guys, we appreciate y'all coming on here. We don't want to take up too much of your time. I know y'all have been busy. Dylan, I think you've got softball season starting to fire up for you. So
yeah, that's coming up. So we had to get this in on the Thursday night ahead of that. But yeah.
Well, I will tell you, Chris Bailey. I don't know if you remember Chris or not. He's the main person of our club, and he moved up to North Dakota with the Air Force, and so he has family in. He couldn't get on here, but I will tell you, his pair of Hobie glasses took a pretty good beating in the softball game that he was in up there. So
I'll have to tell me that story another time. My interest is piqued on that one for sure.
Yeah, it was pretty pretty gnarly. So, but guys, thank you so much for coming
Yeah,
out.
you're very welcome.
Thank you for sharing all the new stuff. I wish you guys a wonderful year. And we do thank you again for coming on and being a part of our club and helping us out and helping us grow. And we hope to help you guys grow as well.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah, and absolutely. And if anyone has any other questions, feel free to reach out to us, whether it's, the customer service email. I run all our social media pages. You can just message us directly and I'll get back to you. But yeah, always happy to be there and be a resource for anyone that's interested.
Yeah. And y'all are going to give us some good social media stuff that we're going to be able to put out on our pages. And also, Dylan, we're going to talk a little bit later, but give us some stuff that we want to start running, like some little commercial breaks during our live stream. And we want to be able to plug those out there, for you guys and our other major sponsors. So
they're ready to go. I just got to send you a link.
There we go, man. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Y'all have a wonderful night. Steve, thank you for all the input, man. Your knowledge is really cool. I love hearing you last year when you was talking about it, this year again. So we do appreciate y'all.
Thank you very much.
All right. Thanks again, guys.
Hey, one other quick thing. If y'all were down here between now and next year at one of our tournaments, we would love to have y'all come to one of our tournaments, to the check-ins, and even fish with us if you fish. I know, but just come to the check-in. We'd love to have y'all meet a bunch of guys and have the guys meet you.
Yeah, no, absolutely. We love doing that stuff.
Yeah, if y'all are here, let us know.
You got it.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
All
right, guys, take care. See ya.
Thank you.
All right, Jeff, let's talk about we'll talk about our next open that's coming up.
Yep. So for the next open, it looks like based on voting's still open right now, but Headwaters has a healthy lead over Garcia. So it looks like we're going to go to Headwaters, and then September 20th is leading over to the 13th pretty heavily. So we'll wait for everything to close out. I think Bailey had it set to close tomorrow, but it's looking like it's going to be Headwaters on September 20th. So hopefully, I mean, we fish Headwaters in April.
Next one, what's leading on the time frame of the tournament?
Say that again.
Have you looked at the poll for the time? Does that 7 to 12?
Yeah. So I think I want to say I thought it was leading as a regular tournament, so going until 3. But let me see if I can find it real quick. But so we're there, obviously. Let's see. So 18%, 7 to 1, 7%, 7 to 12, 75%, 7 to 3. So pretty sure it's going to be 7 to 3. Yeah, that's pretty healthy.
7 to 3, and we're going to pay out the top 3 plus big pass.
top 10%, right? So depending on who all signs up, but I know we're there in April, but April's a long way away, right? So we'll get there. We'll get there and do September, and should be a fun time. I'm hoping to have a similar turnout, maybe even a better turnout than we had here in August. So 35 people ended up coming up to Griffin, which made for a interesting ramp situation, considering that we had a boat tournament the same morning. But Headwaters, obviously, we're going to have Headwaters and Stickmarsh open. So assuming that Headwaters does win. So between Stickmarsh and Headwaters, I mean, you're talking about a pretty big parking lot. So I think we should be good to go.
Exactly. Well, I think overall, I would be willing to say we almost have a tournament every month at Headwaters and probably have a pretty good turnout for that.
Yeah, and so honestly, if when you think about it too, a 7 to 3 tournament makes sense for Headwaters because everybody has to do an hour run practically to get to the lake, right? So if you go down that north-south canal, that S canal, I mean, it's a 3.5 mile run to the lake. So when you factor that in, I think probably the 7 to 3 makes sense for headwaters.
I totally agree there. Totally agree.
So
I'm trying to fix these glasses back. I think I got them. That makes a lot of sense. I know whenever we were talking about it, I thought that would be a pretty good thing to do, when we were kind of chit-chatting about it.
Yeah.
Because it is, for a lot of people, it's a pretty good drive. I think, what is it, a good 2.5 hour drive for me. It's probably a 2 hour drive for you. So, and then people coming from the south, it's probably a good hour and a half, 2 hours for them. So,
yeah.
Anyway, I would really like to catch some fish and learn how to fish headwaters. So that's my goal, is to actually be able to get out of. I would like to get out on the water in headwaters. I have not been able to get past the canal yet, from where the boat ramp is. Yeah, last time I
it's a
thought I was
haul,
going
but
to get
with the NK 180 you're running, you should have no problems.
Well, last time I think it was the last time I was going to go. I stopped off at one, and then I was going to go on out, and somehow the canal got blocked. That was the time before last. So I'm like, this last time, I'm like, I'm not doing that again. I'm just going over to Stick Marsh.
I've never fished Stick Marsh. I was talking to somebody earlier in the week about Stick Marsh, and they said they were indicating that Stick Marsh might have more to offer in the way of an everyday angler. It sounds like their headwaters is, I don't want to say it's one dimensional, but there's a lot of hydrilla on headwaters, right? And then with the ditches, you kind of need to know how to fish the ditches a little bit with the hydrilla. You need to find the lanes. You can fish a chatterbait and you can fish different lures, but you have to fish them a lot faster at headwaters than you do at other lakes, right? So I think once you get kind of used to it, it can be a fun fishery. But you got to put the time in. That's the biggest thing, is you can't go once a year and be able to fish headwaters.
Well, it's one of those, and that's me, once a year down there, pretty much. But, I'm starting to figure out some of the hydrilla stuff a little bit more, with this fishing Toho, Orange Lake, the different ones. They're covered up in hydrilla just as bad. I mean, even Griffin had a lot of grass in it, in there. So you got to learn how to fish it if you're going to fish in Florida, I guess.
Yeah, and I won't lie, right? I mean, the grass was intimidating for me the first couple of years. I stuck to crappie and stuff because you were out in the middle of the lake. It was clear. You got into the shallow water, and some of the grass, especially for the out-of-state anglers that aren't from Florida, learning how to fish that, it's not I'll say it doesn't come naturally to me, right? Just like pitching and flipping doesn't come naturally to me.
Exactly. Same here.
But,
Same here. Well, Tennessee, we didn't have, where I fished, we didn't have grass. It was all, rock. We had bushes and brush, but, you might find a little grass here and there, unless you go to, around Gunnersville or Chickamauga or something like that, you'll find some more vegetation. And then some places on the Tennessee River, there in Kentucky Lake, you'd have a little bit. But overall, most of it's, that I fished is rock and, drop-offs and, brush and logs and all of that fun stuff,
Oh, yeah. I mean, shallow water up north for me was, 20 feet, 30 feet. Like, so I always laugh, some of these guys, when we get to the award ceremony and they get up and talk about what they were doing and throwing something in 3 inches of water or 6 inches of water and catching, a 23-inch fish. It's crazy.
But, well, I used, when I was first here, I giggled quite a bit when they were talking about they were fishing deep water and it was like 6 feet or 7 feet,
Yeah, not 40 or 50.
No, not at all. Not at all. So is there anything else we need to talk to? I guess we're about in this hour time
Yeah,
frame.
I think the biggest thing is just I would encourage everybody to get out onto Tourney X, especially if you haven't fished any of the opens, right? So we only had Griffin, and we'll have Headwaters, but get out on Tourney X and play with it. Register for the club. Club membership. I think last time I looked was only around 20 members, right? I know a lot of people will wait until the tournament season gets closer, October gets closer, but we're going
No
to be
way.
rolling
Don't
out.
do it.
Yeah, I mean, I think we're going to be rolling out some of our discounts here soon and some of our club affiliates. So I would say get out there and get signed up so that you can maximize, the discounts and those kind of things.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And again, apologize for me having to run this thing again this week. I butchered it last week. I about butchered it the first of this week, So
That's fine.
thank God I got Jeff on here to, hold my hand getting this.
Add color. Add color.
Yeah. color, color analyst right there.
No, it's good stuff.
Well, we'll jump off of here. We were just happy to have Hobie on here. We want to thank Dylan and Steve for being on here again. And I tell you what, if you don't have a pair of Hobie sunglasses, go get you a pair. We've got a link that we can share with you that you'll be able to save a little bit. And you can't beat the warranty that they have on their sunglasses. I love mine. I wear them all the time. They're one of my favorite pair of sunglasses. I mean, they're truly good, clear sunglasses. As Harrelson put on here, he's got a few pair. They're just good. For the price, you can't beat it. Can't beat them overall. And
Yeah, they've been good to the club too.
Yeah, and they've been great to our club. 2 years in a row, giving away a pair of sunglasses at every event, that we've had. That's pretty doggone good. So they've been great to us, and we truly appreciate that. We've got a lot of great sponsors out there, and we're going to try to do a little bit this year, promoting a little bit more, having little breaks during our live to be able to sponsor a little bit more of our sponsors to put them out there and show them out a little bit more. But everybody knows who our sponsors are pretty much, and we definitely appreciate them. And a lot of this we couldn't do without them. A lot of the prizes we couldn't give away. I mean, Lou's, they give us reels that we can give away. And I mean, and they're not your $30 reels either. They're good $150, $200 reels that like last year the BB1s, man, you just can't you can't beat them. They've been around forever. They're tried and true. A lot of the professional anglers still use their BB1 Pros. So I love mine. This year we got the Speed Spool RXs, which are the brand new ones that they've come out with. We've got those. We've got we also have some spinning reels that we're going to be giving away as well. So they're the new Speed Spool spinning reels. I think they're the CRX. So they're all the new ones that they've come out released this year. So that's awesome. Oh, David Myers said, tell how to find FKBT on Tourney X. We don't currently have a club tab as
There's a video that Bailey put out. If you go through the history, you can look at the video that Bailey put out. We can bring that to the top and repost it. But
Yeah.
that's the best one rather than try to explain how to do it. The best thing to do is to get onto your computer and don't do it from your phone as well. But if you get onto the computer, you can actually type in Florida Kayak Bass Trail under the club tab and you'll find it. And then
Here's
from
what
there,
I
you
was
just
going
follow
to do,
the
Jeff.
links.
If you want to do this for a second, let me share my screen. Let me see if I can do this. Share screen. And I'm going to share. If this will pop up here. There we go. Let's do this. So I am, if you go up right here into the little search tab, right? And you type in Florida Bass Trail, Florida Kayak Bass Trail. That is how you typically will find the tournaments, okay? They'll be right here. If you go to the home page, all right, Jeff, you're going to have to help me here.
I think it's under the club tabs, right? If you go down where you see categories, you got the club tabs. I think
right here.
Click. Yeah, I think if you click
it's kind of
that,
hidden. It's not up at the top where it should be. It's down here under next to categories.
yeah,
So,
but
yeah,
then you
if you
should be
click
able to
on
search in there.
And
Florida Kayak Bass Trail. Where's that?
it should be right in there. I found
Yeah,
it the other day.
it is in that list somewhere. It's not in order, which makes it a little bit goofy. But when you find it, you click on it, and then once you're there, I think that's it right there. Well, no, that's Florida.
I think it's on there under FKBT.
I know I had to physically type it in. I could not find it under FKBT when I went to the.
Hmm.
We'll repost Bailey's video. He's got a good video on it.
Yeah. I mean, I found it on my phone relatively easy. I don't know why I can't find it on here now.
See, and that's funny because I could not find mine. I could not get it to come up on my phone. I had to do it from my computer.
Yeah, I did it from my phone relatively easy. Now, I will tell you, one thing that you can do is if you have a account, there are clubs right there. So you can actually join the club, join clubs right there in your account. Just a FYI.
Yeah.
In your Tourney X accounts, you can do it that way too. But yeah, I don't see it on here. We'll have to get Bailey on here, and we'll go through it all. We'll do that here in the next week or two, whenever we have our next live. So
yeah,
I don't want to do too much, which I don't have a clue what I'm doing, if you know what I mean. So, all right, buddy. Well, let's. I'm going to jump off of here. Get some stuff going. Justin, we look forward to having you fishing with us too, Ben. Hopefully you'll be out down at Headwaters with us. We did have a lot of great new people fishing with us at Griffin, so hopefully all of those folks will get signed up. We had a really good time. I just personally wish we had a couple more hours to fish that day. I might have done a little bit better. I got on them right at the end. I caught my first fish at like 10:30 something.
Yeah, I didn't catch my first fish till like 9, but then I literally caught my limit in 5 minutes. Once I got on them, I was on them.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, no doubt. All right, guys. Well, y'all have a good night. Thank you, Jeff, for being on here with me. Everybody that's been on with us for so long, we appreciate y'all. We wound up with 13, 14 people on here right now, which is really cool. You know,
Yeah.
So if you haven't already, go out to Hobie Eyewear, like their page, share it, put a comment on it. If you've got a pair, post something out there. Post it on our page with your Hobie glasses. If you've won some, post it on their, tag them with it. That's one thing that we need to start doing is tagging all of our sponsors. I'm guilty. I don't do a lot of Facebook stuff, but if you do, go ahead and do it. Harrelson said he caught a 19 and a half at 245. Nice.
That doesn't help. That doesn't help in the standings much, unfortunately. But
That's
Harrelson slays them, though. He catches some big fish.
That's the way it goes. Harrelson always goes out afterwards and just wears them out.
I think he's at
usually wears them out
550
in the tournament, but if he doesn't wear them out during the tournament, he kills them afterwards.
He's over 550 in the top 25. That's crazy.
Well, you and him are neck and neck, though, aren't you?
Oh, he's got me by like 20 inches. He's a whole inch larger on his average. So it's 2 inches maybe. It's crazy.
Y'all are a beast. Harrelson's a hammer. He's a beast out there. So, all right, buddy.
Yep, take it easy.
Good night, folks. Y'all have a good one. We look forward to seeing all you guys here on September 20th. And it looks like it's going to be at Headwaters, but we'll have another live here in the next week or two, and we'll put out a post on it. Watch out for it. Come join us and get a little interaction going on here. You will catch me not going to be able to fish for a while.
We'll see.
Good night, all. Yep. Peace out. Be safe. Tight lines.